sequel number 133 of the Church of Uganda at 150 years, a celebration. In this sequel, Acting Provincial Commissioner of Buganda, John Rutherford Parkin POSTLETHWAITE, is in an open antagonism with the Katikkiro, Apollo Kaggwa. Welcome. The new British governor of the Uganda Protectorate, William Gowers, arrived and was introduced to the Great Lukiko on Thursday, the 28th of May, 1925. Kabaka Daudi Chwa II did so in person at 9:30 a.m. and asked the governor to make the education of the natives a priority and also improve the cargo sea route via the Lere. In response, Governor Gowers agreed with the Kabaka and assured him that his Western African experience, indeed Gowers was from West Africa, would be an added asset. And about the sea route, he promised to work hand in hand with the Kenyan colony administration. The event was well covered in the newspapers of the time in Buganda Kingdom. That year, it was the 29th birthday of the Kabaka, and it fell on the 8th of August. And there was a celebration service at Namirembe Cathedral and an address to his great Lukiko at Mengo. However, the address was made on his behalf by Katikkiro Apollo Kaggwa. Now, in his speech, the Katikkiro took the opportunity to give the Kabaka a congratulatory message on the birth of Prince Edward Mutesa the previous November 1924, and also for being knighted by the British monarch that year. The acting Provincial Commissioner for Buganda, John Rutherford Parkin POSTLETHWAITE, represented the governor at the birthday celebrations. Yet, he did not see eye to eye with the Katikkiro Apollo Kaggwa. That was clearly evident when they had a heated exchange at the birthday Great Lukiko session. POSTLETHWAITE started it by praising the natives for generating wealth through growing cotton, but at the same time blaming them for their overdrinking because of what he called a relaxed Katikkiro Apollo Kaggwa. And so, when Apollo Kaggwa's turn came to speak, he accused the POSTLETHWAITE police officers for failing to enforce the anti-drunkenness punishments. The Katikkiro, for him, blamed car drivers as the leading cause of deaths. POSTLETHWAITE was not the explorer, adventure-loving kind of administrator like the earlier generation of, for example, people like Sir Harry Johnson. He was a strict administrator. He meted out justice and established orderly progress and efficiency, according to those who wrote books about him. Now, on a sad note, the county chief of Busiro Sebwana, Tefiro Kungutso Sonkole, who was also the Mugema, lost his dear wife, Damari Narore, from what the hospital called chest complications in January 1926. Now, at the funeral ceremony, POSTLETHWAITE paused to greet Apollo Kaggwa and told him to his face that, "Old sick man, you are fit to retire." Now, Apollo Kaggwa reacted by telling him, "It is incomprehensible why you don't report me to the Kabaka. I beg to inform you that in the future, my government will not regard as right or take consideration of matters conducted by you." They both parted and went separate ways. But their exchange of words was reported to the Kabaka, and he was not amused. He called on his friend Dr. Albert Cook to intervene between the two. The Kabaka secretly longed to get rid of Apollo Kaggwa, who had been in office for over 36 years as Katikkiro of Buganda. He had become untouchable, as many county chiefs feared him, and he was accused by many of despising the young Kabaka, or even disregarding him, ever since he became of age in 1914. Unfortunately, Dr. Albert Cook kept playing hide and seek from the Kabaka, who got impatient and personally instructed his Katikkiro to apologize to the commissioner, POSTLETHWAITE. Apollo Kaggwa went to POSTLETHWAITE and said sorry to him, but only to please the Kabaka, because it did not come from his heart. He desperately wanted advice on how to work with POSTLETHWAITE, but his colleagues in the Buganda government were simply advising him to ignore. Now, Dr. Albert Cook advised Apollo Kaggwa to resign. That was now in 1926. And Dr. Albert Cook advised Apollo Kaggwa that once he resigned, he would then complain later so that the Colonial Office would restore him to the office of Katikkiro and transfer POSTLETHWAITE away from Buganda to another area. Now, Apollo Kaggwa, therefore, wrote a resignation in which he narrated the verbal attack of POSTLETHWAITE at the funeral of Sebwana's wife, and mentioned that he was resigning because of his insult that he was an old sick man. However, Dr. Albert Cook advised on a better letter, which simply stated that he was resigning on health grounds. Now, when Apollo complained that he was not sick, Dr. Albert Cook told him that it did not matter. The kingdom's treasurer, Ezra Kabali, shared the same clan as Apollo Kaggwa, but from another lineage. So Apollo Kaggwa called him over to explain what his plan was and asked him not to take his pending resignation seriously. Ezra Kabali appeared surprised about the strategy and promised to find out on the reactions of the protectorate government officers once the resignation was submitted. Now, on the 23rd of July, 1926, Apollo Kaggwa tendered his resignation after 37 years in office as Katikkiro. But by that time, the governor, Sir William Gowers, was away in England, having left on the 9th of June, 1926 by sea. The chief secretary to the protectorate government, Bwana Jarvis, was the acting governor. And his boss, Governor Gowers, was not to return till the 8th of February the following year in 1927. Therefore, on receipt of the resignation letter delivered from the Kabaka's office, it was acting chief secretary, Bwana Perryman, who replied to the Kabaka in a letter which I have personally seen, dated the 28th of July 1926, a copy of which I have seen and lies at the Uganda National Archives. He acknowledged the resignation letter from Apollo Kaggwa on ill health grounds. Now, Bwana Perryman, in the reply to the Kabaka, accepted the resignation on behalf of the acting governor, Bwana Jarvis. And in the letter he stated, His Excellency hopes that Sir Apollo Kaggwa will be spared to enjoy for many years the pension which he has so well earned. Now, in the next sequel, we are now going to see the drama between POSTLETHWAITE, Dr. Albert Cook, the British colonialists, and Sir Apollo Kaggwa. As for this particular sequel, I can only say that may the good Lord bless us all.